what's going on, guys? It is Rinne-Hatake here, back with another video. And today I got What If Goku Was Born with Vegitos Powers, Part 3. Since you guys have been requesting this a lot, and you've beat the like goal of 15 likes last time, which was pretty good actually. So I thought I'd do Part 3, and another like goal I'm gonna set is, well, 15 likes again, and if this gets over 15 likes, part 4 will come out soon, and maybe possibly the movie, but we won't know just yet. But without further ado, let's begin. So, as I've stated in the last part, Trunks, the unexpected visitor, arrived on, well, the past timeline, basically. And, well, they didn't need Trunks' help to defeat King Cold, since Goku was there and obliterated him instantly. And, while in this fight, basically, there were some drones scouting the area and watching Goku's every move, and this golden-haired form that they saw, or the drones saw, well, was from Trunks, and they saw that golden hair and that power it emitted, so they basically added something to their androids, or someone added something to their androids to make them stronger and strong enough to actually deal with this. And this time the main focus was the few androids that they had, like they had 13, 14, and 15, and they also had 16, 17, and 18. But Jiro has saw Goku's strength and immediately knew that he could not stand a chance against this kid, even with such strength. So he needed to have something more stronger and capable of taking him down, and that would be Project Cell. He's been working on Project Cell for a while, and Project Cell has been going according to plan, and has been developing quite well, actually. But since the Z Fighters were informed about such things happening, about the androids, the Z Fighters were actually on guard, and Project Cell had to be put on halt since, well, the Z Fighters were searching around, and actually, no, it wouldn't be on halt. It wouldn't be. It would still continue, but he'd have to make his lab experiments, well, a little more hidden and away from, well, human life or anything. He had to study everything of Goku with his drones and bring back all the data with his supercomputer and stuff like that. And he has perfected his other androids, like 16, 17, 18, and basically 20. But he also made himself an android and actually improved his absorbing ability to absorb energy or ki. So he's improved that ability to a greater extent to defeat Goku out of revenge. But since, like, they saw Super Saiyan, well, 13 is gonna have that ability as well, but it's gonna be a lot stronger since, well, you know, Trunks is strong and Goku's strong, so it's gonna be a lot stronger than the Canon 13. Since Goku needed an actual Spirit Bomb to be able to absorb and then defeat Android 13, so I'm gonna say that it's a little stronger than its canon counterpart. But besides that, it's nothing will change too much besides those changes that they're a lot stronger. But yeah, one day when, well, the Z Fighters were basically relaxing and training, well, there was an explosion in a random city, and a few of the Z Fighters happened to be in that city. And the 3 Z Fighters who were there were actually Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin. They were out doing some errands for Chi-Chi, and when a random android random android 21 or 20 came. Oh, actually, there's no 21. That's not canon. Whoops, I mean, like, 19 and 20. Yeah, 19 and 20. So, like, 19 comes around and, basically destroys a few buildings, and that catches Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin's eye, so they basically head over to start the fight, but Krillin was grabbed by his leg, or his arm actually, grabbed by his arm, and tossed to another area, and Krillin had to defend himself against Android 20. Android 19 was actually somewhat of a formidable foe, but it wasn't enough. Well, he was keeping them down actually, but with their teamwork and Gohan being able to access Kaioken, they're not wiping Android 19 right now. It's just they're struggling, but they're pretty even. But Gohan increases Kaioken to times 20. That still doesn't work, so Gohan drops out of Kaioken and practices what he's learned when he arrived on Earth and trained with his father for a while in the hyperbolic time chamber. And that happened to be Super Saiyan. Gohan wasn't perfect at Super Saiyan, but he can now actually access it by will instead. So he has a much earlier head start on this Super Saiyan power. So Gohan, he basically gets into his power-up stance and starts charging his ki, and his ki overflows as his hair basically spikes up and it turns into a golden color, as his aura does too. So Gohan has transformed into a Super Saiyan. It has no grades, it's just Super Saiyan. He doesn't have, well, it is grade 1, but he doesn't have grade 2. But still, this power-up was enough to change the battlefield or switch it up. Piccolo had to use Kaioken as well. And now Android 19 has actually been destroyed by these two alone. And Gohan, like, powers down a little and tries to sense where Krillin is in the city, and he senses Krillin. And Krillin was holding his own, not too bad, but he's getting beaten down mercilessly as Krillin, well, he gets punched multiple times in the face as, well, Gero just grabs him by his head and starts absorbing his energy. Krillin couldn't move. His energy was sapped out of him, and he didn't know what to do. But at the last moment, Gohan tried to come in and save Krillin, but that didn't really end up well, since Krillin had a hole punched straight through him, and Krillin happened to die again. So Krillin died twice instead of Yamcha this time. So Krillin just died again, and as Gohan saw this, he got enraged. And since he feels like Krillin is like his own uncle, basically his uncle, he gets angry at this, saying that he couldn't protect Krillin and couldn't save him in time. He powers up to Super Saiyan, and he gets a rage boost on top of Super Saiyan, and tries to fight Gero, or 21. Oh, not 21. Why do I keep saying 21? 20, Android 20, or Gero, basically. And Gero actually tries to make an escape, and Gohan and not Krillin, but Gohan and Piccolo try to keep him in the city to minimize the damage. Well, actually, taking it out of the city would minimize any more damage, but they're trying to keep it in one area so the damage is minimized. So they're trying to stay in that specific area of the city. But Gero tries to use a smoke bomb or smoke grenade to get out of there. But that doesn't really work since, you can sense ki, but he's an android. So they can't really sense ki. The only ki they were able to sense was Krillin's ki. I don't know if you can actually sense android's ki, but I'm just gonna say you can't sense the android ki. It's not divine ki or anything, I'm just gonna say you can't sense it. But still, Gero managed to escape and is trying to activate the other androids. Since Cell is actually doing very well at this point, if he just releases Cell and lets him absorb those other androids, then it would be an well, an unimaginable monster that would have been created. So yeah, that would have been totally insane. And he actually manages to, but the rest of the Z fighters actually catch up to Gohan and Piccolo and chase them down, or chase Jiro down to his laboratory. But they were too late. As they finally arrive, the laboratory explodes. As 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 were released. But immediately, 14 and 15, they just basically shut down, and they basically just fall apart. As Jiro designed them to fall apart just like this, so Android 13 can absorb them and access his Super 13 form, basically. And he does. He powers up, and his power, is insane. Well, I'm just gonna say Jiro was able to create a device to cancel them from sensing his ki, not the other android's ki. Okay, because this won't make any sense, but still, I'm trying to do something here. But still, Android 13 has access Super 13 or his Super 13 form, and Jiro tells him to stay there for a bit, and Android 16 can go up and fight. And Android 16's whole purpose was to kill Goku, and he tries, but Goku swipes him down and basically blasts him with a ki blast, and the plan of rebooting him didn't happen, so 16 is dead. So now Cell was actually released a lot earlier, since Jiro just had enough time to release Cell while the others were distracted. So Jiro released Cell, and Cell was out of his, little incubation chamber, and his first thing he absorbed was Android 17, absorbing him, transforming into his semi-perfect form. Android 18 tried to fight back, but she ended up getting absorbed, and now it's the Perfect Cell. Perfect Cell actually has the DNA of every single incredible fighter on this planet Earth. So he has Goku's DNA, Krillin's DNA, Yamcha's, King Piccolo's, Piccolo Jr., Gohan. He has no data on the other kid, so he doesn't really know. But still, seeing the Super Saiyan form, he added that to 13. But still, King Cold, which gives him the evil influence, and also King Piccolo, and then Kami, and all the other incredible fighters and other people who are very, very strong is within Cell. So Cell has those abilities that they have. And actually, I'm gonna give Cell the same strength that Goku has in base, basically. He's Super Saiyan 4 times 2, but now with Goku's training, I'd say, I don't know what I placed Goku at last time, so I'm gonna say Goku's at least Super Saiyan 4 times 4, okay? I'm gonna say he's that during the time skipping training that he's been doing. And Cell is the exact same strength, but if he absorbs Android 13, that strength will increase a lot. A lot. And Android 13 tries to fight him, and that didn't end up well. Android 13 still managed to get absorbed. And this created the super perfect Cell, basically. Well, I'm not saying he has Super Saiyan 2 or anything. I'm just saying this is a super perfect Cell due to Android 13 having his super form. So that's where he gets the super perfect Cell from. As Cell stares at Goku saying, You there, Saiyan. I am now surpassed you. I have ascended multiple levels of strength. I am the strongest. And I'm sorry about the background noises that you might hear, but we move. As Cell has his monologue, and Vegeta and all the others will power up. Vegeta actually learns Super Saiyan thanks to Goku, and the Saiyans all know Super Saiyan, but they haven't ascended it yet. But Trunks, it took a few days basically, so all these events did not take place on the exact same day. So I don't want you guys to get confused. This happened through a few days, so it's not gonna be like in a one whole day that this actually happens. So Trunks arrives again from the future timeline and senses everyone's key an ominous large one, and he flies over there and he sees Cell, and not just Cell, it's super perfect Cell. As Trunks stares down this monster, Trunks gets a little worried, but just takes deep breaths, saying, he's not stronger than Goku, is he? As Trunks powers up to Super Saiyan, as all the other Saiyans do as well. As Goku stares down Cell, and the other Z fighters take on Cell first, and they were utterly demolished. All of them were laying on the ground like dead bodies. They weren't dead, but they were very injured, as Trunks was also gravely injured. And the only one standing was Goku, as Goku stares Cell down, and they begin their big battle. And their battle, well, it destroyed that wasteland they were at. The wasteland was a total waste. No pun intended, but still. They continued their fighting, and Goku was actually put at the back foot at this point. Even with his strength, Cell has all these other DNAs, and that could actually make him stronger. And with Android 13's, well, being absorbed, that also gave him the edge over Goku, as Goku needs to access higher levels of power, as Goku accesses Kaioken times 10, which isn't enough, times 20, which isn't enough again, so he actually just goes all out, going times 50, testing Cell's abilities and strength. But what Goku doesn't know is, even having, his DNA, or Cell having his DNA, that gives Cell the edge, because whatever Goku knows, Cell knows. So Cell accesses his Kaioken technique, and that Kaioken technique was impressive, as Cell accesses it to the same level of Goku, and Goku's now struggling, struggling very, very hard, as Goku's getting battered and bruised. While Goku is having fun, he knows he needs to end this very quickly, so he immediately powers to Super Saiyan and continues fighting Cell. But he hasn't told anyone that he's ascended Super Saiyan. He's basically right now in Super Saiyan grade 4, so when he accesses it, his power was insanely higher than, normal. So he continues this fight, but his strength is incredibly stronger than what it used to be, and Cell is having a little trouble here. But since, Super Saiyan is what he saw, and has that super form that 13 has, he basically accesses that super form that 13 has, which isn't the same strong as Goku's Super Saiyan, but it's still pretty strong. But Cell actually knows he can access much higher levels of power, so he just transforms into Super Saiyan just like Goku. And this time, they're having an incredible battle. Their battle goes on for hours upon hours, as Goku, he's losing this, as the Z Fighters watch in awe at their strength. But still, if Goku loses this match, planet Earth and everything on it will be destroyed, and maybe the whole entire galaxy will be destroyed, and will be under Cell's rule. It only depends if Goku loses or wins, and Goku continues his battle, but Goku's still struggling very hard in this battle. So he accesses Super Kaioken, which is a technique he learned combining Super Saiyan and Kaioken at the same time. But it's actually a lot harder. Well, a lot harder, because even putting it at higher levels is very strenuous on his body, even though he's used to Kaioken at times 50. With Super Saiyan stacked on it, it just makes it a lot difficult. So he can only use times 50 in brief period of time, which actually shocks Cell, since Cell doesn't see Goku coming, and Goku blitzes Cell, and every time he uses that Super Kaioken, Cell gets punched at least 40 different times, and Goku gets knocked back too, and he gets a lot of damage to himself due to the strenuous using of the Kaioken or the Super Kaioken. So Goku is struggling, but he's managing to actually keep Cell at bay and injure Cell, but that isn't enough. Cell has regeneration, and Goku doesn't. And Goku's reaching his limit here. And if he loses, he will die, and so will everyone else on planet Earth. So he knows he needs to keep it safe, but he's out of ideas. He doesn't know what to do. As Goku backs up a little, saying, "You're strong, Cell, but I have something up my sleeve." As Cell raises his eyes, saying, "You have something that can possibly defeat me? Impossible, Saiyan. You're bluffing." As Goku powers up, since he doesn't even know what he's gonna do now, all he can do is power up and try to beat Cell. As Goku continues powering up, as he knows there's a power beyond Super Saiyan, he just needs to dig deep and find it. As he powers up and continues powering up, he actually manages to ascend Super Saiyan as lightning or electricity begins crackling. As you can see, Goku's hair has changed a little bit, and you can see that his strength has also changed greatly due to this power. Goku has accessed Super Saiyan 2, or Ascended Super Saiyan. As Goku feels this power, he knows it won't last very long, so he knows he needs to end it quick. So he continues the fight again, and Goku throws multiple barrages of kicks and punches, as so does Cell. And Cell actually uses his Kaioken times 100 since he got regeneration, but even that still damages his body, so he needs to be careful. He can only use times 100 on brief periods of time, so he has to drop back to 50 after using 100 for more than 30 seconds. So this fight continues, and Goku seemingly has the upper hand now due to Super Saiyan 2. But when Cell accesses times 100, it evens out the playing field. So the other people, or the other Z fighters, need to help Goku defeat him. And Gohan powers up the Super Saiyan again, saying, "I need to help my father." As Trunks looks at Gohan, saying, "Yeah, we should help Goku." As Vegeta basically grits his teeth, saying, "Impossible. How are their powers so high? I've never felt anything like this before." As Vegeta powers up too, regrettingly, as he tries to help Goku. As they charge in and start trying to distract Cell for a second, and Vegeta actually manages to land a good solid blow on Cell's face. But that solid blow wasn't as solid as Vegeta thought. Vegeta smirked after punching Cell square in the face, but that didn't last very long, as Cell looks at him with a cocky grin, saying, "Was that supposed to be a punch?" As Vegeta is shocked. He hit him point blank range, but it still didn't work. As Cell says, "I'll show you what a punch looks like." As Cell basically goes in and punches Vegeta square in the face, sending him through a mountain basically. As Vegeta was slammed into a mountain with such a strong force that he actually tapped out of base and was knocked out. Well, it was not tapped out of base. It was basically tapped out of Super Saiyan and went back to base as he was knocked out. And Gohan and Trunks were the only ones left. Gohan and Trunks tried to help Goku, and the three of them did incredible teamwork, but that wasn't enough. But Goku still overpowered Cell, and Cell was holding them off pretty well, trying to discover Super Saiyan 2 during the battle. And Goku knows he needs to end this quickly, so he continues berating Cell with multiple attacks, so does everyone else. And one of them actually manages to land on Cell. Trunks' sword slices Cell's arm clean off, and this gave an opening to Goku, as Goku comes in very close, blasting a Kamehameha wave, as Gohan flies down to where Cell was gonna land, and also charges his Kamehameha wave. So basically, Cell's getting sandwiched by two Kamehameha waves, but it seems like Goku's Kamehameha wave was way too strong and was about to crush Gohan too. But someone else stepped in to help Gohan out, and that was Trunks. Trunks fired a gallant gun with Gohan, and they tried their best to hold it down, and it seemed like it was working, but Goku's Kamehameha wave was still crushing them. But someone else had to step in and help, and that was Vegeta. He finally woke up from being dazed while getting socked in the face by Cell. He finally woke up and did his best to help his son, powering up to Super Saiyan and actually charging his final flash, which took a little while, but he finally managed to do it. And he charged his final flash and fired it with Gohan and Trunks. And this is not anywhere near as strong as Goku's Super Kamehameha, but Goku wasn't going all out in this time. He wasn't going all out on his Kamehameha wave since he didn't want to destroy planet Earth or his friends or his son. So he's going at about the level of at least Super Saiyan 3. Yeah, he's going at about the level of Super Saiyan 3, which should be more than enough. And getting sandwiched by 3 other beams behind you should be enough to eradicate Cell. And Cell actually almost blocked the whole entire beam, but he didn't, and he got vanquished, and he basically got incinerated by by all of the beams. So now Cell has been eradicated, and Goku, tired out and worn out, drops out of Super Saiyan 2 back into base as he falls to the ground, as he breathes heavily, saying, "That was the hardest fight I've ever had. That guy was pretty strong. That means I should train a lot harder and show these guys how to access higher levels of power." As the other Saiyans, also tired out, drop out of their forms, they start breathing heavily, and they start celebrating, but the celebration doesn't last long, since they need to revive anyone who died during that fight. And they do revive Krillin, who died in the fight. So yeah, Krillin was revived, they fixed the city and anyone else who died, so yeah, that problem is solved. And there's gonna be a massive time skip, since the Android Saga didn't last as long as it did in canon. But still, a few years go by, and Gohan's reaching his he's going to university basically, like normal, but he's more encouraged to do martial arts and keep up with his training so he doesn't soften up. And Gohan is way weaker than canon Gohan. He's way weaker than Buu Saga Gohan, let alone Cell Saga. So Gohan is way too weak at this point. He does keep up with his training, and he does know how to use Super Saiyan. He's only at Super Saiyan grade 4. He's being able to access Super Saiyan 2. So right now, he has Super Saiyan 2, but not fully mastered. He can tap into it he can tap into it by will, but still, he's behind Buu Saga Gohan by a lot. Not by a lot, by a little bit, by a little bit. He has Super Saiyan 2, but that isn't the same strength as Buu Saga Gohan. Still, he has plenty of room to grow, and he continues his training unlike Buu Saga Gohan. So, yeah, we move from that, and everyone else did get stronger and did access higher levels of power, like Vegeta being able to access Super Saiyan 2, and Trunks did come back to his timeline, being able to use grade 4 and Super Saiyan, almost to Super Saiyan 2. Still, they're growing exponentially, and Goku now learning Super Saiyan 3 and has been training in the hyperbolic time chamber for at least 2 days. 2 days. and left its hyperbolic time chamber and trained with the rest of them. So he doesn't spend his whole time in the hyperbolic time chamber. He's been growing way stronger, has access to Super Saiyan 3, and is very, very OP. So, yeah. Goku during this time did he did get bored eventually, since there was no one to actually challenge him, or no one to actually challenge him and to give him a challenge. So, yeah. But the Buu Saga is coming very, very soon, and someone who has found the legendary Majin's egg is trying to revive the legendary Majin Buu. But I'll be leaving it off there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys want part 2, make sure to hit the like goal of over 15 likes. And I'll create a part 4, or maybe the movie, depending on what you guys want. But without further ado, I'll see you guys on the next What If scenario. Peace.